Right, Rookie. You're the last one to make the run tonight, and I'd like to get home and grab some grub with the family. So let's make it a good one, eh? Before we start, let's do a quick review of your instrumentation panel. First, let's go over the radar. It's smack dab in the lower middle of the console and will be a vital instrument for determining friend from foe. But it also helps with a number of other things. One of these things is orientation. The circular grid is coloured orange and blue. If it's orange, that means the ground is beneath you. If it is blue, that means the ground is over top of you and that your fighter is inverted. When you're in space, this grid will align to the flight deck of whatever vessel or station you took off from. Lastly, the radar bulb will display incoming guided munitions using a large red arrow to show you what direction the munition is coming from. Keep an ear out for a rapid beeping noise. That will tell you when a missile is close. Oh, and before I forget, the big blue dot in the centre is you, in case you hadn't figured that out yet. Moving clockwise from the radar, we have the first multifunction display, or MFD. For the most part, you can ignore this, but when you've got incoming, it will flash as a means of warning that you should take evasive manoeuvres or launch countermeasures. Second is the RCS display. It will give an indication of the status of your RCS system with a small line. The blue light means the system is primed and ready to use. To the immediate right of the RCS display is the fuel gauge. Pretty self-explanatory, just don't let it run empty. Up from that and slightly to the left is the mission status readout. It will give you the current objective for whatever mission you're flying. Just above that is the throttle percentage gauge. That lets you know what percentage your throttle is currently set to. Sitting right above that is the hull integrity indicator. As your fighter takes damage, it will decrease. Don't let it hit Z. Up and to the left of the hull integrity indicator is the angle of attack bulb. This serves two functions. The first is to display your facing angle relative to your direction of travel, and the second is to display the direction of gravity. The direction of gravity is shown with 3 blue arrows. To the right of the hull integrity indicator is the bow sight. The functionality of this instrument will change depending on what weapon you have equipped, but as a note, if you're using guided missiles, this instrument will track your currently locked target. Just beneath the bow sight are the sea level and altimeter gauges. The altimeter will give true altitude to ground, and the sea level is altitude to the mean sea level of the area you are operating in. To the immediate right of the bow sight is the true airspeed gauge and the countermeasure status indicator. The countermeasure status indicator will let you know when your countermeasures are ready, when they are in use, and when they are in cooldown. Just below that is the ammunition indicator cluster. This cluster of gauges will show which weapon you currently have selected, how much ammo you have for it, and what the current status of the weapon is. Just below that is the second MFD. It serves a similar function to the first MFD. To the immediate left of the second MFD is the thermal load indicator. When you use your afterburner, this gauge will fill, indicating the relative thermal load on the fighter. If it stays full for too long, your fighter will start to take damage. Lastly, but not at all least, is the wayfinding arrow, located far in the upper right and mounted on the cockpit frame with red and yellow wires running to it. You will want to pay special attention to this indicator as you progress through missions, as it will indicate where the area of operations is relative to your current position. With that out of the way, let's get started. Activating navigation markers. As you can see, it's a pretty standard practice run. Put your fighter through the rings and keep doing so until you're finally prompted to land. Now, put your throttle to max for launch And I and your fellow pilot trainees will see you when you touch down.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1.
Altitude.
Flight Control, this is Dagger 6-1, checking in.
Well, looks like you're off to a good start.
Collision warning.
Initiating launch sequence. Please stand by. Launching in 3, 2, 1.